Hello. Welcome back to Life After Plus One. I'm Leanne, your podcast host and your single parent mentor and coach. And today I want to talk about a topic that probably plays on people's minds a lot, and that's confidence. People are too scared to speak up. They're too scared to say how they're feeling. They're too scared to say what they really want. Is it the fear of being judged? Is it the fear of what people are going to say? Is it the fear of thinking it's going to come across as being confrontational and creating drama? And saying what you feel or what you think or what you want is not about being confrontational. It's about saying how you feel. There's always a way to say things without being confrontational. You can always say things in a kind way. So today's episode is about confidence, getting the confidence to really get out of your bubble and just to be more confident in yourself. So let's talk about ways and what you can do to be more confident as a single parent. Now, before I do dive into today's episode, I just want to let you know I've got a fun little package which I've just uploaded, and it's just new on my website, and it's a new messenger program. Well, it's not really a program or a session, but it's a Q&A kind of session, which I have at the moment, where you can just book online and we can talk one-on-one via Zoom. But instead of doing that, because I know what some people are like these days in this world of technology, people like to text, and it's just easier for them to do it that way instead of having to chat and speak to someone, which I get that. So I've put together this package where you can just email me or send me a DM. The instructions are all there when you book in. You can shoot me through three questions, I should say, that are linked to one specific topic, and I will respond to you and give you an honest answer based on my experience, based on my expertise, based on my knowledge of this topic, which I like to think is pretty damn good, and you will get a response from me. And all the details are there when you book in. The whole idea of this session is to be something quick and easy when you just need that quick advice on the go and you don't want to have to book in a session, you don't want to have to speak to someone. You can just message it through and then I will respond to you. Now, it's not a live chat, so you're not going to get an immediate response, but you will get it within ideally a 24-hour time frame. It may be immediate, depending on the time it comes through. If you email me at 3 o'clock in the morning, then I guarantee it will not be an immediate reply. But there are different time zones I need to be wary of as well. So it's just a fun kind of chat. If you want some real advice from a real person who's actually been there and actually understands the situation, then that is what I'm for. That session is available. It's only like $29.95. Jump on, have a look. It's super cheap, super easy, super quick, and just some real professional advice on the go. If you need it, it's there. Jump on my website and it's in the show notes as well. And on that note, let's dive into talking about confidence. And if you have any questions that you would like to ask regarding your confidence or anything else, co-parenting, dating, life in general as a single parent, then jump on and book that session. But now let's dive in and talk about confidence. Welcome to the Life After Plus One podcast, where we turn life's lemons into delightful lemonade. Get ready for inspiring stories, uplifting conversations, and all the tips and tricks to rock your single parent journey with style. I'm your host, Leanne, and it's time to embrace the adventure of Life After Plus One. So let's dive in. Hello, welcome back to Life After Plus One. I'm Leanne, your podcast host and your single parent mentor and coach. And today I want to talk about confidence. Now, it is a big one because I really think confidence is the big thing that gets you through life. And, you see so many people comparing themselves to other people. And quite often, when you really step back and look at it, it's not necessarily the people that have got more money or the people that have a better degree or more friends around them. Quite often, it's people that just have the confidence in themselves to take that next step. You can have people that are on the same income, but one person might be doing so much more because they've got the confidence to put themselves out there. And it doesn't necessarily just apply with single parenting. I mean, that's a big thing, especially when you're dealing with an ex who's someone who might be manipulating you and walking all over you and trying to control the narrative all the time. But just throughout life as well, when you're going through jobs or maybe you're running a business and you're scared to put yourself out there on social media because you don't have the confidence. You're worried, well, what are people going to think? Or I might look silly. And you might say, well, I'm not worried what people think. But if you're not doing it, then deep down, you really are worried what people think. And that does hold us back a lot, especially in this day and age of social media. People don't do as much or put themselves out there in fear that they will get named and shamed, or in fear that they will look silly, or in fear that it just won't go their way. But at the end of the day, what is the worst that can happen? So, talking about confidence today. How do you build your confidence, and how do you get to a place where you're not so focused on the opinions of others? And me personally, from my experience, I have found since I have become a single parent, and as you all know, I've been doing it for a number of years now, but that has what has really helped my confidence. And when you're on your own, you realize no one is coming to rescue you. No one is coming with this big, amazing, some knight in shining armor, or someone's going to come and just rescue you. It doesn't work like that. The only person that's going to rescue you and help you out of your situation or help you through it is yourself. And when you get to a place where you realize that, and you realize, okay, this is all on me, that is the first step in really booming your confidence. It really boosts it to the next level, because then you're at a place now where you're like, okay, well, I don't need a partner to feel better in myself. I don't need to necessarily have that job. I don't need to have that money in my bank account, or I don't need to have that car. It's not about what you have. It's about how you look at yourself. And when you start portraying those signs of being more confident, it makes you feel so much better in yourself. Now, going back to what I was just saying about when you get to a place as a single parent, and I want to talk about a scenario I just had. And I think most of you, well, not most of you, but a lot of you will probably know this, because I have shared a bit of it on my Instagram stories. If you do follow me over there, if you don't, go check me out, lifeafterplusone. And that was a recent issue that I've had where I was going through some issues with a local dentist. They closed down, and they've got massive amounts of money from 400 plus people that are now out of pocket from treatment that they've paid for and have not received. Cut a long story short, I've reached out to a current affair. I was on a segment, and there was 2 other people on that same segment, and both of them were also single parents. And it made me stop and really think. It's like, you know what? When you get to that place of being a single parent, it's like, I'm not taking bullshit anymore. I'm standing up for myself, because you realize no one else is doing it for you. And even though there is 400 plus people in that same situation, there was only 3 of us that spoke up to a current affair. And those 3 of us were single parents. And there were others that did reach out, but they were like, no, I don't want to be seen. I don't want to be on TV, which is fine. That's their choice. But when you get to our place as a single parent, you realize, and that's when you really learn to accept, nobody is spoon feeding us. Nobody is rescuing us. Nobody is helping us. And some people think, yeah, it takes a lot of confidence to be able to actually speak up and want to be filmed and go on television, especially on a show like A Current Affair that doesn't necessarily have the best reputation. And especially since that segment didn't land very well. I wasn't very happy with the way that segment aired and was put together, but that's another Oprah show, really. So it does take a lot of confidence to be able to get to that place to do that. And that's my point of what I'm getting at. When you are a single parent, you know, okay, I've got to do this, because if I don't do it, no one's going to help me out. I'm never going to get my money back. I'm never going to get this, or I'm never going to get that. I'm just going to be stuck here for the rest of my life. And that is the first step to really getting your confidence back, and to really having trust in yourself, is realizing that I can do this. That is the first step to really working on your confidence, really accepting that, you know what, yeah, I can do this. And number 2, yeah, I'm worthy of doing this. They're the biggest things, knowing that you can and believing in yourself and knowing that you're worthy enough. And more so, the final step for that is not worrying what other people think. Because at the end of the day, there's always going to be people that comment and judge. It's going to happen. You see it now as a business owner. I see a lot of people that comment on judge on what I do because for some reason, this topic, being a single parent, triggers a lot of people. They think that I'm just out to support mums, or they just, because I'm a female, they think that I'm against all single dads, which is not the case. But I see that a lot because when I put my business out on social media, people think, oh, you're just out to rip dads off and you blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, it's not about that. I'm not here to hate on anyone. I'm here to support everyone. But that's just it. This topic triggers a lot of people. So no matter what you do, you're always going to get hate, even if you are doing something good. And that blew me away the first time I had hate on one of my posts. I'm like, I don't understand. Why am I getting hate when I'm trying to do something good here? You're not going to be able to stop what other people think of you. No matter if it is social media, no matter if it's friends, no matter if it's someone from the schoolyard, no matter if it's family, people are always going to have their opinion. And the best way you can start working on your confidence is to not worry about the opinion of others. They're not paying your bills. They're not there putting food on your table. They're not there helping you get by in life. They're not there helping you get a promotion at work. It's all on you. So what they think should not be a reason you hold yourself back in life. Now, the thing is, I do totally understand that when you do go through a divorce or a breakup from a de facto relationship with someone with your kid's other parent, it does shatter your confidence. It does. So I'm not just saying as soon as you become a single parent, you're all of a sudden more confident. No, you need to build that up again, because when you're going through that, you're quite often reaching a rock bottom place. You're quite often lost. You're confused. You don't know what to think. You don't know what to feel. You don't know where to go. You don't know. Your emotions are just all over the place. And especially if you were someone that didn't work full time, or maybe you were a stay-at-home parent and you've never been out in the workforce, and you're now all of a sudden, it's like, holy shit, how do I do this on my own? You start doubting yourself. You start thinking you're not good enough. You start thinking you're never going to find another partner. These things all affect your confidence. So it's not easy to just all of a sudden go through this, be a single parent, and just all of a sudden, boom, you're confident again. No, it takes time. It takes time, but the only person that can build that up for you is yourself, and realizing these steps. So yes, when you do go to a breakup, and quite often, and if you're someone like me, when I went through my breakup with my daughter's father, and also when I did get divorced, and so for those of you that do listen regularly and have listened from the beginning, you will know that I have actually been through a divorce where I didn't have kids, and then I've also been through a breakup, which was a de facto relationship where I was with my daughter's father. Now, both of those breakups were quite toxic, and both of them pretty much said to me, they did say to me, I will be nothing without them. They really shitted on my confidence. They make you think that your life is going to completely fall apart because they're not in it. They don't want you to succeed. And I know my story is not a one-off. This is something that happens a lot. When you're dealing with someone who's heartbroken, I mean, mind you, we're all heartbroken when we're going through a breakup. It's, you're not just leaving a breakup happy. Well, actually, some people probably are. But more often than not, you're heartbroken. Your ego's hurt, and people will say things that are stupid and nasty and will try and hurt the other person. And it's not uncommon to have these things said in a breakup. You'll be nothing without me. So getting that out of your head is a hard step. How do you erase that? How do you move on from that? When you've got someone drumming in your head, you'll be nothing, you'll be nothing, you'll be nothing. They're literally shitting on your confidence and making you feel worthless, making you feel that you are now going to accomplish nothing in life because they're not in it. The step to get through that is actually realizing that there's no truth behind that. And as easy as it is to say that, it's not so easy to believe it when you've had it drummed in your head, especially if you're in a long-term relationship and they've said it to you on a regular basis over things. Maybe they shattered your confidence over time, or you look ugly in that, or they commented on your weight and the way you dressed and what you did. They were constantly putting you down. So yes, that destroys your confidence. And building that up again is not an easy process, but it is possible, and it starts with you. And another thing that I've mentioned quite a fair bit on the podcast is, for those of you that don't know, when I was younger, when I first met my ex-husband, I first met him when I was 17. So I've had 2 really long-term relationships. My ex-husband, we were together for about 12 years, and then I moved on. Actually, it wasn't straight away. It was quite a few years later. I met my daughter's father and was in a de facto relationship with him. But when I met my ex-husband, I was 17 at the time when I first met him, and I was the most shy person you would ever meet. If someone knew me back then and met me now, they'd be like, holy smokes, you are not the same person. And I'm not, and I'm proud to admit that, because you don't want to be. You want to change, you want to grow. But back then, I was like a little mouse. If someone spoke to me, I would hide. In large groups, I would never, ever speak up. And if someone did speak to me in a large group, I'd get all shy and embarrassed. My face would go red. Mind you, I was a lot younger then. I'm now in my late 40s. Oh my goodness, late 40s. That's crazy. But back then, I was a teenager. So it's a very different person. But it just goes to show that experiences that you go through in life is what makes you who you are today. And I've been through some really rock bottom experiences in my time, but it's about learning to turn those around and go, you can say that, you can think that, that's okay. But just because you're saying that, it doesn't mean it's true. And that's the biggest part of moving forward from that. They can say whatever they want. They can say you'll be nothing. They can say you'll be broke. They can say you'll never amount to anything. They can say you'll never get a partner again. But that's not the truth. And that's the first step of moving forward and getting your confidence back after a breakup, realizing that there's no truth behind their words. They're saying it to hurt you. They're saying it to make themselves feel better. And yes, it hurts. And yes, it does affect your confidence a lot. But it's accepting that, you know what? There's no truth behind it, and they're just trying to hurt me, and it's shitty. It's not nice, but that's on them. That's a reflection of them and who they are. If that's how they choose to handle that situation, then that shows their character, not yours. So really, when you're wanting to build up your confidence, first thing is realizing that it's on you. You need to start making these changes. Second of all, realizing that your confidence is not just going to change just by you saying, okay, I'm going to be more confident today. It's about you doing things that really push you out of your comfort zone. And I know there's been quite a few things, and quite often when I've done things, and I don't get nervous very often. I'm now at a place where okay, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it works, great. But I'm not going to lose sleep over it. It just means it wasn't meant to be, and there's something else out there for me. So it's not often I do get really, really nervous. But sometimes I do get a little bit anxious, and I do feel a bit, I do start to feel a bit unsure about things. And I'll say it to my daughter. I'll talk to her about it because it's just us two here. And my daughter will quite often respond and say, well, why are you doing it? And I'll say, because you need to get out of your comfort zone. This is how you grow in life, and this is how you become more confident. When you do something, you actually grow and you become stronger and you become more confident. It's like, wow, why did I hold that off for? Why did I keep putting that off for? It wasn't that difficult. And when you do something and you realize how easy it is, it's like, okay. And then you start pushing yourself that little bit more. That's how you start to build on your confidence. By doing these little things that slowly push you out of your comfort zone. And doing these things will make you feel proud in yourself, will make you look back and go, wow, I did that. Just achieving these little things and taking these small little action steps are ways of what you can do to start building your confidence. Even if it's just something as little as signing up at a gym. Maybe you've always wanted to go to the gym, but you're like, oh no, it's very intimidating. I can't do it. No. I remember the first time years ago. I've been going to the gym for a long time now, but the very first time I signed up at the gym, that's how you feel. It's intimidating. It's like, oh no, they're all just gym junkies there. They're all just going to look at me and judge me. And to be honest with you, it's actually the complete opposite. All those gym junkies that are there, they're actually looking at themselves. They're not looking at anybody else. But if that is you and you've been putting off joining a gym because you're worried what people might think of you, turning around and actually walking in and taking that step to sign up, that is one step you can take to start boosting your confidence. Like, wow, okay, I did that. And then you actually start going on a regular basis, and then you actually start feeling better in yourself. That's how you slowly start taking steps to improve your confidence. Now, it's not just about joining a gym. It's about doing things that push you out of your comfort zone, that push you out of your daily Groundhog Day routine, and make you realize that you can do things on your own. You are capable. And when you start doing more and more of these things, you realize, okay, this is easy. This is nothing. It's not a big deal. I can do this. And that's like with me. I've been doing this on my own for so many years now. It's now like a way of life for me. But another great step that you can take to really work on your confidence is just really feeling good in yourself. And that's the hard part after a breakup. When you first become a single parent, you quite often don't feel good in yourself. You're feeling shit. You're heartbroken. You're sad. You're lost. You may feel like you're worthless because you don't have a partner. You are feeling shit in yourself. So that's quite often why your confidence has gone to the shit. Now, there could be a whole lot of other reasons. Like I just said, maybe you had an ex that was drumming it in your head. But when you're going through this, just all of a sudden being the most confident out there person is not something that's just going to happen. So it's learning to feel good in yourself. And like I just mentioned then, starting to join a gym is a great way of doing that, where you start to feel good in yourself. Start to pay attention to the way you dress. Dress to feel good. Don't dress because it's easy and it's just, whatever, I can't be bothered. And that's one big thing that I do. I get people that say, oh, you always get dressed up, or you always, look nice. And, mind you, I don't always look nice, but I always take care in the way I dress. Even if it's just putting on some nice earrings and a little dangly necklace or something like that. I always accessorize. I always have color on because I like to feel good. And I find when I'm just dressing a little bit daggy, it makes you feel bleh. But when you dress to feel good and you dress to look good, you do feel better in yourself. And that is an excellent confident booster. And it's not just about doing it to impress people or doing it to show off. It's doing it to feel good for you. Getting up and going, you know what? I'm going to actually make an effort in the way I dress today. And for anyone that was following along on my 30-day Instagram challenge that went through June, that was one of the challenges for one of the days, is to really put effort in the way you dress. Really put thought into it, because it's easy just to get up in the morning and you might have that little chair at the end of your bed. We all have something, don't we? A chair or some spot in our bedroom where we just put those clothes where they're not dirty enough to put in the laundry. They're not clean enough to hang up. So they just go on a chair or on a rack or on something. And it's quite easy just to put that back on again. Or just put on an easy tracksuit or put on your active wear. It is so easy to do that. Active wear is just an easy option, isn't it? And I know what that's like. That was me all the time. I'd get up and I'd go to the gym, or I'd go for my walk and I'd go stay in my active wear, or I'd get dressed in my active wear, and then I'd just stay in it for the rest of the day. But I'm now trying to make more of a conscious habit to do what I need to do in my active wear, then have a shower and get changed and feel like a normal human. Well, I won't say normal human being, because people who wear active wear are normal human beings. But you feel nicer in yourself when you're actually like, okay, I'm putting some normal clothes on, or some nice everyday clothes, not necessarily active wear, because it's just quick and easy. So putting thought into the way you dress and actually caring about making a nice appearance and making yourself look good is a great way to boost your confidence. And as single parents also, we need to always remember, and this is another thing I always harp on about, and that's that our kids feed off our energy. If you are someone that's really shy, if you are someone that doesn't speak up, if you are someone that doesn't talk about problems, or, oh, I don't want to say that because I might upset them, or I can't talk about that, or your kids follow that behavior. If you're wanting your kids to speak up to you about their problems, if you're wanting your kids to speak up and set boundaries later in life when they see something that's not right, they're not going to do it if they don't see mum or dad doing it. So if you want your kids to speak up and protect themselves or defend themselves and set boundaries and not to ignore red flags and not to just let people walk all over them, then you need to display that. You need to show them how it's done. You need to lead by example. But if they're seeing mum or dad just not speaking up in situations where maybe the other co-parent is being a bit of an arsehole and you're just letting it slide, not saying anything, then they're going to think, okay, that's how you handle stuff. You don't say anything, you just keep quiet, you just let it slide, you just keep the peace, and that's how your kids will grow up. But if you want your kids to grow up and be more confident and speak up, start leading by example. And please remember, and I feel like a lot of people get triggered. Oh, that's another harsh word, isn't it? A lot of people don't like that word, but it's true. A lot of people do get triggered by people that are more confident and that do speak up, because it's usually those ones that don't speak up that are triggered by the ones that do. And speaking up and being confident isn't about being arrogant. It's not about being an arsehole. It's not about being mean or nasty. It's about knowing your worth. You know what? I don't agree with that. I don't like that. I'm just not going to let that slide. I'm going to speak up about that. It's about, for example, in my situation that I've been going through with a dental clinic that's just walked off with thousands and thousands of dollars. I'm not just going to sit here and go, oh, well, it's happened. I can't get my money back. Because to be honest with you, that is what the majority of people are saying in that group who are going through this. Oh, well, I can't do anything. I can't get my money back. And maybe that is the case. Who knows? But I'm not backing down without a fight. And it's not about me being nasty, and it's not about me trying to prove a point. It's like, hold up. That's my money. I'm not just going to hand it over to someone for no reason. Damn straight I'm going to put up a fight. And it's not about me actually, I'm saying put up a fight, but I'm not literally fighting. I'm reaching out to people. I'm sending emails. I'm making phone calls. I'm being proactive to do what I can to get that money back. Why so many people in the group are like, oh, well. And that comes down to being confident in yourself and knowing your worth, knowing that, you know what, that is mine and I deserve that. I'm not just going to hand it over to someone. I'm going to do what I can to get it back. And it's not necessarily mean it's going to work in your favor, but it's being confident enough in yourself to know, I deserve better. That's mine. I deserve what's mine. And that's not okay. And yeah, I'm going to speak up and defend myself. And that's what being confident is about. Speaking up and defending yourself. Speaking up and having boundaries. Speaking up and putting yourself out there. And speaking up and not allowing yourself to be walked over. So how do you start rebuilding that again? How do you get to that place where it's like, fuck, I just wish I could speak up myself. I hate being walked all over. I just want to be more confident. I want to put myself out there. I want to apply for that job, but I just don't feel like I'll get it. I don't think I'm good enough. It's about realizing that who cares if you get knocked back? Who cares if you don't get that job? Who cares if you put yourself out there and it's a no? It just means that was a no, but maybe there's something else out there. Well, not maybe. There is something else out there. It's about putting yourself out there and trying. We all get knockbacks in life. We all get no's in life. But just not putting yourself out there in fear of getting a no is not going to make you progress. It's not going to help your confidence, and it's not going to result in anything positive if you just keep holding yourself back in fear of getting a no. We all get no's. We all get knocked back. We all have had negative things happen in our life at some point. It doesn't matter if you're a filthy rich person, you're an extremely successful person, if you've got everything that you need in life, we have all had knockbacks of some point in life. It's whether or not you choose to let that hold you back, or if you are willing to accept and go, okay, that's happened. I need to just pick myself up and I need to figure out how I can get through this, because I'm not going to let it hold me back. So working on building your confidence and getting yourself to a place where you're more confident in yourself is actually learning to love yourself again. Learning to actually realize that what's the worst that can happen? Because that's just it. What is the worst that can happen? Maybe you've been wanting to ask someone out on a date, but you're too scared to in case they say no. Yeah, they might say no, but hey, they might also say yes. Maybe you've been wanting to apply for a job, but you haven't been doing it because you don't think you're qualified enough and you think they're just going to say no. Well, they might say no, but is receiving an email saying thanks for your application, but unfortunately you were unsuccessful, is that going to ruin your life? No. But you might also get one on the opposite side saying, thank you for your application. We'd like to progress with that. Well, I don't know how they word it these days, whatever. But you get where I'm coming from. What is the worst that can happen by getting a no, sorry, you weren't the right one, or no, sorry, I'm not interested in dating you? So building your confidence up is also about learning to accept the worst case scenario. Learning to accept that, okay, I might not get what I want, or it might not go the way I want it, but it's not the end of the world. It's not going to ruin my confidence. And that's just it. A lot of times when people get a no, they might get knocked back for a date, or they might get knocked back for the job, or they might get something else might happen, and it shatters their confidence even more and just pushes them back. Where some people, they're the complete opposite. They go, oh, well, it's just a no. So it's all about how you choose to take it on. Are you going to let that push you back? Are you really going to take it personally and go, oh, well, fuck, see, I'm not good enough. I knew I shouldn't have applied for that job. I knew I should have asked that person out on a date. I knew I shouldn't have done that. And you're just going to keep doubting yourself, and you're just going to keep pushing yourself back even more. Like I said, we all get no's. It's not the end of the world. It's, are you going to keep wallowing in that no, or are you going to accept and go, okay, I got a no, no big deal. Let's see what the next opportunity is. Let's see if I can try again. Let's ask someone else on a date. Let's apply for this other job. It's not about sitting in that moment and holding that, over your head, thinking this is the end. This is just ruining me. See, I know I'm not good enough. It's about realizing, yeah, you are good enough. You are good enough. That opportunity wasn't for you. That person said no because they weren't the right person for you. It's about accepting, okay, there is someone else out there for me. It is not the end of the world if you get a no. And that is a huge step in building your confidence, learning to accept the worst case scenario and not letting a negative response ruin your day, your week, your month, your year, or however long it is. Not letting it affect you, not letting it get you down. It's about accepting it. Okay, that's happened. Let's move on. That's how you build your confidence, knowing that you are worthy of something better. And if that didn't work, that's okay. And don't forget, it's also about taking risks, being a risk taker, getting out of your comfort zone. Those people that you see in life that you look at and you think, oh, wow, they're so confident. They're not the people that just sit in the bubble and do nothing and just sit at home watching Netflix all weekend, moping around. They're the people that get out of their comfort zone and do stuff. They're the people that take risks in life, whether it be a business risk, whether it be asking that person out on a date, whether it be doing something different that they wouldn't normally do. Those confident people are the ones that are willing to give things a go. And that's what it's about. If you want to boost your confidence, start taking risks, start giving things a go, start getting out of your comfort zone and realizing, yeah, wow, I can do that. So just remember, you can build your confidence. It happens slowly. It's not just going to happen overnight, but you can do it by learning to believe in yourself, learning that I am worth it. I am worth so much more. I am worth having that life that I want. I am worthy of having a partner that is able to bring to the table everything that I'm looking for. I am worthy of everything I'm wanting in life. And that's how you build your confidence, accepting that. And even though things go to the shit, even though things don't work out, even though things might knock you down when you least expect it, that's life. You're not going to let that ruin you. You're just going to accept it. Well, fuck, that was a shit thing to happen. And then you keep going. Don't let it destroy you. That's how you build your confidence. When you have something happen, might just be something little, it might be something big, whether it be an unexpected bill, whether it be something that's happened to your car, whether it be a relationship breakup, anything. There are people that can go, okay, well, fuck, I wasn't expecting that bill, but I'm going to have to make that work now. Or there's people that are going to really stew in it and go, well, shit, how am I going to pay this? And they're thinking about it all night. They're not sleeping. They're stewing on it all week. Well, shit, I'm going to have to pick up more work. I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to have to start selling things. I'm not going to be able to pay this bill. And they're focusing on it. They're letting it consume their whole life. Now, I'm not saying that you don't need to be proactive. It's one thing to be proactive, yes, and do things. But it's another thing to let it consume your life. And when you're more confident, you're confident in yourself, you know what? I'm going to make this work no matter what, but I'm not going to let it consume me. I'm not going to let it take over my life. It is what it is. It's happened. I can't change that now. I just need to make it work. That's how you be more confident in yourself, realizing that no matter what, you're going to make it work. But stewing on it and letting it eat you up, it's not going to help you, and it's not going to help your confidence. So when you're more confident in yourself, you're willing to accept it for what it is. And that's what it's about. Just accepting things for what they are, not being fazed by what other people think, not being fazed by what other people say, because no matter what you do, they're going to have their opinions. And so many people hold themselves back because they're worried about the opinions of others. Oh, they might say this. Oh, they might say that. Oh, they might think that. They're going to say it no matter what. No matter what. Even if you don't do that thing, they will complain about something else. They will have something else to say. People are always going to complain. And to be honest with you, if you have people like that in your friend group, step back and really think, are they the people that you want? Do you want those negative people in your life? So stop focusing on what other people are thinking and just worry about you and leading by example for your kids. That's what you want. Set that good example. Don't live your life worried about, oh, Jane down the street might not like that. Or imagine what they're going to say. Or imagine what she's going to say. Who cares? Stay in your lane and focus on building a life for you, not building a life because somebody else might say or think something. That's how you build your confidence. And don't forget, if you are really struggling with this, if you do need more help to really build on that confidence, because it doesn't just happen overnight, as I've been saying, it's a slow, gradual process. And some people are fine to do it on their own. Some people have got themselves so deep down that they can't, and they need someone to help them through that. And that's why I'm here. I help with these kind of situations. So if you are wanting to get help through this, I do have a Q&A session where we can sit down and we can have a discussion about where you're at and talk about how we can get you through this. Otherwise, we can do a bit of a one-on-one session where we deep dive more. We can go into more of your situation and talk about exactly what's going on and exactly what's holding you back. And I do have that massive, big overhaul session, which are also great sessions that I love doing. And it's a big one session where we cover everything, anything that's not working in your life that you feel is holding you back. We sit down and we talk about it and we work out how we can make this work better for you, whether it's your co-parenting, whether it's your confidence, whether it's your finances, whether it's anything that's holding you back as a single parent. We will sit down. I will look at it all. We will have a one-on-one chat beforehand so we can see what's exactly not working. We'll have a big 3-hour chat and let's nut it all out and go, okay, let's make this work. Let's change what's working and what you're doing because it's not working currently. And let's make this better and easier for you. So those options are available. And I know a lot of people don't like to reach out and get help. I know a lot of people don't like to speak up. They think, I can do it, I'm fine. And that's fine. A lot of people can. But some people do need help. Some people do want to get through it a lot quicker. And that's the whole point of having someone like myself to help you through this, so you can get through it and you don't sit there in that dark, lonely place for such a long time. Because to be honest with you, being a single parent, one of the hardest things that you go through is the loneliness. And whilst you're being so lonely through this phase, you're refusing to speak up and ask for help, when really this is the most important time that you do need to speak up and ask for help. So if you do need that, remember, I am here to help you through any part of this journey. And those links for all those packages and anything that I have, services, ebooks, anything, products, all available in my show notes. And also, if you want to connect, jump on over to Instagram at lifeafterplusone. I'm there. You can also DM me if you have any quick questions, any feedback. And one last thing, if you are loving the podcast, feel free to give me a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple. I'd love to hear it, because that's what also gets the podcast into more single parent ears, just getting the word out there more. So thank you again, everyone. And like I said, please reach out if you do need that support. And that's about it for me. Thank you, everyone, for coming back week after week. And until next week, I'll be in your ears there. Thank you for joining us on the Life After Plus One podcast. If you loved what you heard today and looking for some further support, then jump onto our website, lifeafterplusone.com. Plus, don't forget to check out our Instagram page for further resources and inspo. You can find all the links in the show notes. And remember, you're not alone on this path. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the next episode. And in the meantime, keep thriving, keep growing, and keep exploring your amazing life after plus one.